Hey everybody, fair warning, I'm a little bit tired right now. John and I stayed up a little too late last night trying to finish a show that we're watching. Even though we put Sawyer to bed later than usual, like most young kids, he still woke up as early as ever. So I may need a nap today. Darcy just got back from a sleepover with her cousins. Did you have fun? Yeah. But for this video, I'm going to share with you guys our potty training plan for Sawyer. We got that started today. So I'm going to talk about the method that we use. We used it with Darcy as well, and it was pretty successful. The plan that we come up with and how we prepare and really go into a potty training boot camp weekend. And this video is only gonna really show the supplies that we're using. Obviously, we're not gonna show Sawyer actually being potty trained because that's super inappropriate. But potty training is something that every kid goes through, and so we wanted to share our experience with it in case it helps some of you who are about to jump into that phase of parenthood, or if you're already past this phase, you can just brag about how you never have to go back. So originally when we potty trained Darcy, she showed a pretty high level of readiness. Like, she was curious about it. She was uncomfortable in a dirty diaper. Definitely had all the signs that she was ready to be potty trained. Sawyer, on the other hand, I can't say that he's showing readiness signs. So really this weekend boot camp is really about introducing the idea of potty training to him. And the method that we use is basically blocking off a few days where you have nothing going on. You're willing to dedicate all of your time and energy into potty training, accidents, and all that fun stuff. And the short version is you basically let your kid run around in either underwear or just naked and get them on the potty as much as possible as soon as they go in the potty, which first couple of times might just be an accident, but you have this huge celebration, you encourage that, and they start to associate going potty like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You start to teach them the first basic terms, which could be different depending on your family. So let's jump into how we're doing this specifically this time around with Sawyer. So I've pretty much had all of the stuff ready to go for when we had this window of time where it made sense for us to start this potty training with Sawyer. And it just so happened that Darcy's cousins asked her to spend the night last night. And so John and I decided that this morning would be the perfect time to really introduce Sawyer. And originally John and I had a list of things that we were gonna do around the house. As you can see behind me, there's a bunch of stuff that is starting to pile up. The weather is a little bit warmer, so we were gonna try to do some different projects, but we decided to put that on hold because when it comes to potty training, especially those first few days, the kids need your full attention. You need to be ready for every single sign that the child is about to have an accident, go potty, and you're not gonna be able to do that if you're juggling a million things. You also need to be prepared and make sure you're ready for the messes that are gonna come, and try to center yourself with having as much patience as you can possibly muster. You and your partner can decide which roles or shifts you're gonna, balance out throughout the day. And another thing I think is important is to make sure you're consistent with your word choices. And that's how you can plan and prepare for yourself. And then as for the specific things that I would recommend having on hand, I'm going to show you what we do. But before we go into that, I have to show you guys the irony of a deaf dog playing with a squeaky toy. So first things first, you're going to want to make sure, depending on the size of your child, you have a kid's potty, a seat cover. I think this one goes from the kid potty, and then you can also put it onto a regular toilet seat. And honestly, I got this one because it had the little flush, and it also had a spot to put wipes and books. And it looks just like a toilet. For Darcy, I'm pretty sure we had a really cute Minnie Mouse one, but we didn't hold on to it. We went ahead and bought this at the store. And you also want to make sure you're introducing your child to the concept of going potty. So you can do that through books, through TV shows, through songs. We had gotten this a while back, and we had Sawyer watch Daniel Tiger's episode that talked about going potty. And then this actually talks through those different steps. They do a really great job with different important concepts, and always with like a little jingle that the kids can remember. And so we have this book here that he can play with while he's sitting on the potty. We also decided to use this time that when we aren't actively potty training, or if he's going to bed or taking a nap, that we would put him in pull-ups or training pants, just because it has that underwear like look and feel, so the kid can be consistent with what they're using. And then we have a whole bunch of secondhand underwear that we were able to use for this. So we didn't have to go out and buy brand new underwear. But with Darcy and with a lot of kids, what you can do is you can go shopping with them and you can let them pick out which pattern they want, which characters, and it helps them get excited about wearing them and not wanting them to get dirty. And we find it's really helpful to have some kind of a reward system. So for us this time around, we're using M&M minis. They come in this really convenient container and they're really, really tiny. So we only have to give him a couple of those each time. And at first what we would do is, even if he just sat on the potty, we would go ahead and give him a couple. And your hope is to basically catch them in the act where they don't even really know it yet, but they use the potty properly, and then you really want to cheer and celebrate. If you don't want to do a treat, I totally understand. I mean, yeah, we're giving a 2.5-year-old M&Ms, but it works. You can also use a reward system, so like a chart with stickers or something like that. And you're going to want to make sure your kids are drinking a lot of liquids because you want them to use the potty a lot so that you can have that reinforcement of the behavior. So what we choose to do is get the really fun cups that you get at the store. Yes, these are expensive, but for some reason, if we want to make sure the kids are staying hydrated, if we put anything in these cups, they will just drink the whole thing. And also because the kids like juice a little bit more, they don't get it all the time. We got the no sugar added apple juice, and we just refill these for like a day or so, clean them out. You don't want to keep these too long because they'll get pretty gross. And inevitably you are gonna have accidents, so make sure you have a lot of extra towels on hand. So if they're gonna sit on the couch and they're in their underwear or they don't have anything on, you're gonna wanna put a towel underneath them so they don't damage the furniture. And what we got a while back, because we have a lot of pet accidents as well as kid accidents, we got this spot cleaner and it has been an absolute lifesaver. And I'll put a link to some of these products in the description for anybody who's interested in checking them out. But basically just make sure that you have cleaning supplies on hand. So for us right now, it is like halftime of day 1 of introducing Sawyer to the potty. And the progress is really good. So he was getting onto the potty almost right away. He was enjoying it. He wasn't resisting it. And then after a bit of time, he really just kind of had an accident on the potty. And so we reinforced that behavior. John and I were like jumping for joy, like you really have to make it a big deal. And I think he's had just one accident so far, which was in his underwear when he was sitting on the couch. So we did have the towel under him so it wasn't a big mess. And then a second time he has gone on the potty. And there are parents who decide, you know, once they potty train, like that's it. And that works for them. For us, we kind of ease our way into it. Yes, we do like the weekend boot camp, but we don't force things. We kind of go at the child's pace. That's what they recommend doing. And we're okay if at night and during nap times, you know, the child is still using a pull-up or, you know, some form of a diaper, and that's just okay with us. So please wish us luck in this potty training journey. I hope you guys were able to learn something, even if you don't have kids or don't plan on having kids. Maybe this is like reassurance to you that you made the right decision to not have kids. So we're gonna keep this up over the next few days, and I'll give you guys an update later in the week.